great influence on my life, Shlomo Carlebach, Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, with whom I managed to spend a few years before his untimely passing at the age of 69 in 1994. But he was such a profound influence on my life and on the lives of so many thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of Jews all over the world. During his life and since his passing, he's really made such an impact on us through his music, through his Torah, and just through his influence, through his acceptance of people from every walk of life and in every sphere of the Jewish world. I'm just going to sing one song, and then we're going to introduce his daughter, and we're so delighted that she has decided and accepted our invitation to come on with us for this broadcast to commemorate his life and this yahrzeit. Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, b'mehevei rov yomeinu. Sing loud wherever you are. U'bnei Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, b'mei rov yomeinu. One more time. U'bnei Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, b'mei rov yomeinu. Chazanati.
U'bnei Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, b'meira ve'yameinu.
U'bnei Yerushalayim, U'bnei Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh,
ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם
So naturally, you know
ועד.
that we're very lucky here in our shul. We have such a beautiful shul. And we have so many musical events every year. Chazanati does a beautiful job in giving us the chazanut and the music of the Jewish world, chazonas, and all other kinds of music, Israeli music, Hasidic music, every kind of music you can imagine. We're regularly having concerts. But the thing is that right now, we can't have an audience in the shul. You can't see the shul. It's right here in front of me. The shul is empty and has been empty for many months. But we are delighted to be able to use this venue to spread the power of Jewish music for the whole Jewish world, not for just the Los Angeles community, but for the whole Jewish world. And it is a particular pleasure to be able to welcome today, in this commemoration of the life of Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, to welcome his daughter, Haneshama Carlebach. She's coming on with us, and I'm going to be speaking to her. I'm going to have to look at the screen because we have here a Zoom conversation. Haneshama, are you able to hear me?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly. And it's
Yay.
so wonderful to welcome you to Young Israel of North Beverly Hills.
It's an honor. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. You know that, Haneshama, I think I've known you for a very long time. We reconnected not so long ago, but I've known you, I think, for something like 30 years. I'm not sure I should be admitting that, but there you go.
It's true. We're still 16, both of us. It's fine.
And it was particularly lovely to have you, and in fact, the whole family, your father, your mother, your sister, at our wedding in 1993. I know that you remember that, we remember it. And your father sang for us at the end of the wedding, and it was just so beautiful. And it's been so many years. And of course, you've struck out, and you sing now, and you inspire audiences. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the inspiration of your father and how that motivated you to do something like he did by singing and inspiring the Jewish world, across the Jewish world in every quarter?
Thank you. And I just want to say I remember your wedding so well, and I remember what a queen your Sabine is and was. And I think she's on the call. I just wanted to send her special love because I remember her so. She was like royalty for me. My journey has been complicated. Definitely, I have wanted to. I dream always of being helpful to the world, to bring love and inspiration. And my journey has so much been wrapped up in my wanting to hold on to my father and all that he was to me. And I think it took a long time for me in my lifetime to find my own joy. So I think that the inspiration that people felt from me for a great many years maybe was the inspiration to feel and to mourn freely and to love, even when the love is painful. And now I'm hoping, as I've grown into a new phase of my life, that I can inspire, hopefully, people to tell their truth, to hold joy and gratitude in a way that maybe we haven't been able to before in this dark time. And I hope and pray that all of us in the world, everyone, knows that the power to make change, the power to love, the power to be connected to God is in your hands. You don't need to be related to somebody. You don't need to be the daughter of or the son of or connected to. We are all here because we are powerful. We are in the world for exquisite reason, even if it's not clear to us what those reasons are. And so I think the thing that has inspired me the most is my own transition and being able to connect with people in a very integrity-filled way. And I hope that when people reflect on me and on my work, that they feel that.
Shlomo, you know that your father, I'm sure you know, was so well known for all the stories he told of the great past rabbinic and Hasidic leaders, and sometimes just of ordinary Jewish folk who lived their lives as Jews and who could inspire others through those stories. He was a storyteller. He was a raconteur, but a raconteur for a purpose. He wasn't just doing it to entertain, he was doing it to educate and to spiritualize. But your father himself was such a special man. Perhaps you can share with us a story about him that it can inspire us and can inspire our audience today.
I was hoping not to cry, my brother. I'll share a story that I started to tell after he passed away, and it's a much longer version. I'm going to tell you the briefer one for this moment. I realized who my father was when I was 15 years old. Before that, I was just annoyed because he was never around for me only, and I wanted so much more of him to myself, and I'm sure all of you out there you understand it's not simple to have a parent who loves the whole world. And I don't think I appreciated him. And then when I was 15 years old, everything started to shift for me. I think I was growing up. And I began to see him clearly. And what a gift it was for me to see my father in his lifetime and to be able to tell him that I saw him. It was Shavuot. It was the year that my father lost his twin brother. And I had begun to watch out for him. I didn't want to leave his side. So it was the first Shavuot that I stayed up the whole night. And you can understand I was a little girl and, I wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to eat. My father would say, bless me to make it short. And it was never very short, obviously. I was up till 4 a.m. with my father. And by the end of Shavuot night, there were only, it was a small group of maybe 200 people who were left, very intimate. And when he was finished, it was the first time that I ever experienced in my lifetime that high that people describe, the feeling at one with the universe and with God and with each other. And I had never felt that in my life. It was new for me. I was appreciating him anew. So we are walking back to the hotel where we stayed, and it's 4 a.m. And of course, the 200 people who leave the shul are all singing because that's what they do. It doesn't matter that it's 4 a.m. And everyone's singing and walking. And if you can imagine it, it's 79th Street. And then when you cross and you're going south, you cross the street and there's a very ornate building with very beautiful ornate doorways and curved out. And we're walking, and suddenly my father stops, my brother. And huddled inside one of the doorways was a homeless man. I didn't even see him. I have very good vision. I didn't see him. And he turned to my father, and he only had one eye. But the one eye he had was crying. And he fell on my father, and my father started to ask him a million questions. Did you call your daughter? Did you see a doctor? Intimate questions that made I was sure then that my father knew him well. And he said, my brother, I'm so sorry. It's our holiday and I don't have money for you, but forgive me and I'll give you money when I see you. And then everyone started to sing and surround him and everyone hugged him and blessed him. It was a big party. And then we started to walk and we got to the corner and my father stopped. He was holding my hand the whole time. He stopped. He said, oh, am I crazy? And without saying a word to me, to anybody, he turned and he ran back to the shul. And he came back with a massive tray of chicken that I'm sure the people who were running the shul lost their minds because I think that was lunch. that was lunch for everyone. And he gave this, it was all, I don't even know how he navigated his massive tray. and he gave it to the homeless man. And again, everyone sang and everyone blessed him. And he took my hand and we walked to the corner and he stopped. He said, "Oh, am I crazy? I'm crazy." And he again ran back to the shul and he brought the man his own coat. And he gave him his coat. And Penny, I must tell you, it was not cold outside. And I at the moment, I was like, why are you giving him a coat? It's May. It wasn't cold. And yet my father knew that he needed to be warmed. My father knew. He gave him his own coat. And then we went back to the hotel. And that moment changed my life. And I feel it still as I tell you. I think it's never simple to have a parent who is so complicated and lovely and complicated. I feel incredibly blessed that I was able to be in his presence, to learn from him. I learn from him still every day. Every day he is with me and I'm with him. And what a gift it was to be close to him.
You know that we were lucky enough to spend the last Shabbos with him. It was Parshas Lech Lecha. It was the Parsha of Abraham Avinu. I spoke this Shabbos and I said that I spoke about that we say Elokei Abraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. We speak about all the others and each one of them has their own quality, and I'm not going to go into those details, but we end the bracha. The Gemara says in the name of Reish Lakish, we end the bracha, Baruch Ato Hashem, Mogein Avraham. Why do we say Mogein Avraham? Because there's nothing more important than Gemilut Chasadim, than kindness to other people. And I think that your father emulated this characteristic of our patriarchs, of our forefathers. He was like an Avraham Avinu to the whole world. His tent was open on all four sides. He was ready to give and to give and to give more, and even when he didn't have, he was still ready to give. And that is an incredible attribute that has outlived him and outlasted his own lifetime. And that even now, 26 years later, we sing his songs and we commemorate his life and we remember his gorgeous personality, his wonderful attribute of Gemilut Chasadim. He was an Avraham Avinu of his generation and an inspiration as an Avraham Avinu for our generation. I know that it's a difficult day for you because it's a yard site. I also commemorate yard sites for my own parents, and it's a difficult day, and perhaps I can ask you to sing a song for us. You yourself sing so beautifully. Perhaps you can sing a song for us which is a reflection of your own mourning, of your own difficulty, and perhaps your own journey towards some type of reconciliation with the reality that your father is no longer with us. Could you sing for us Nachamu, Nachamu Ami?
Yes, with joy. And if I may,
Thank you so much.
Can I make
Thank you.
Can I make a very fast comment about your statement? Because I see all of these beautiful people from all over the world. Yes, my father gave endlessly. And yes, that was layered and complicated. But sometimes when you give away your coat, it means that you yourself are cold. Sometimes when you give away your last dinner, it means you are hungry. I believe, friends, when we reflect on his life, that there is balance that must be struck. No human being is perfect. There is complications on all sides. And when I reflect on my father, I am so proud of who he was, and I so wish that he himself had taken better care of him, of his own person, of his children, of people around him. Because we didn't all need massive trays of chicken. Sometimes we just needed a breath. Sometimes we just needed some air. Sometimes we just needed to know that we would be loved even if we didn't give everything away. So this is Nachamu Ami, my father's song for comfort, that I feel so very connected to. It makes me cry. Made me cry as a child, makes me cry now as an adult. And my father would always say that we have to sing loud enough that the whole world can hear us, but soft enough so that we can hear the angels join us. So I hope that wherever you are, you feel nachamu, nachamu, not just one layer of comfort, but two. And Hashem speaking to your heart and bringing you close. Because we all make mistakes and we all try our best. And in the end, what more can we ask for in this beautiful life? So if everyone could mute, because if not, my track will feed back. Thank you. Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Eloheichem. Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Eloheichem. Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Eloheichem. Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Elokeichem. Oh, damru elev Yerushalayim, v'kiru elai. Damru elev Yerushalayim, v'kiru elai. Na 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 na. Na 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 Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Elokeichem. Nachamu, nachamu ami, yomar Elokeichem. Everyone. Na 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 na. Oh. Na 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 na. Oh, damru elev Yerushalayim, v'kiru elai. Damru elev Yerushalayim, v'kiru Thank you, my brother. You know,
Thank
Penny,
you so much, Neshama.
this is the
It's such
first.
a pleasure to have you on. I know you have another event to go to now, another commemorative event. Let's stay in touch. In Amir Hashem, Be'ezrat Hashem. Next time, you're going to sing for us right here in Beverly Hills Synagogue. We're not going to have you on Zoom. We're going to have you here in our shul, and we look forward to it. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. I wanted to share with you, this is the first time that I've been a part of a Yortzeit commemoration in more than 3 years. So thank you for that. I'm very, very touched and grateful. Love to all of you, and thank you for remembering him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best to you. Bye-bye. So it's really been very, very special to be able to commemorate Rabbi Carlebach's Yortzeit together with Neshama. And now we come back here to Beverly Hills, where our Chazan, Nati, is going to sing you an extraordinary song. And the reason it's extraordinary is because Shlomo Carlebach himself didn't sing it so much as people who knew him in his later years know he became a very strong baritone. He couldn't sing the higher notes, but he'd composed songs during his early years as a singer that required a great range in terms of being able to sing, and he wasn't able to do it anymore. One of those songs, which since his passing has become extremely popular and has been sung by chazonim all over the world, is not the Mimkoimcha that you're all familiar with, but the earlier Mimkoimcha from one of his very first albums, Mimkoimcha Malkeinu Sophia, which starts off with an incredible, an exciting, a very moving introduction. And I'm now going to invite Chazan Nati Baram, and he's going to sing the first Mimkoimcha composed by Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach.
Thank you, Rabbi. I heard a story that once Carlebach said that when he's going to go to Gan Eden, he's going to meet Mozart, and he will tell him that this is that he composed the second Mimkomcha. מחכים הלך לעולם. מתי תימלו מתי תימלוך בציון בקרוב בימינו לעולם מבעד ישכון. תתגדל ותתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך לדור ודור, לדור ודור, ולנצח נצחים. The next song that we will sing, that the rabbi will sing, is a very special piece, has components of Nusach of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. How much metikut this guy, Carlebach, Reb Shlomo Carlebach, put in those compositions, that he combined the Nusach and his upbeat melodies, and he allow us to sing during the davening, participate and dance. So, Rabbi, please.
Let's sing it. He always used to say, Reb Shlomo used to say, that the songs that we sing on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur are a reflection of the songs and the tunes that we sang in the Beit HaMikdash. In the temple in Jerusalem, the Kohanim and the Leviim, when they did the Avodah Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, this is the music that was accompanying every single move that they made. Come with me wherever you are. Leben Yishai Meshichevecho B'meiro Oy mi yavo me'veino. I need you to sing with me wherever you are. I see I can't hear you, sing louder. You ready? I We are very privileged to have a number of people who have agreed to be our guests today, not just Haneshama Carlebach. One of them is actually a member of our shul. His name is Mark Goldenberg, and he sang with Shlomo Carlebach, he knew Shlomo Carlebach, and he sings. He's very well known, although he's a prominent orthodontist. That's not his main profession, like it's not mine to be a singer, but he enjoys singing, and he enjoys being a part of the Jewish community in terms of providing entertainment. And here he is. I can see him there with his guitar, and he's wearing his black shirt. I'm sure it's the same black shirt that he wore in 1976 when he first sang with Shlomo Carlebach. And Mark is very, very well known in our community, but actually across the United States. He's participated in many Pesach programs and other events, particularly here in Los Angeles, usually for charitable and fundraising purposes. And we are particularly honored and privileged that Mark has agreed to sing for us today. And
Thank
Mark,
you very much.
Can you hear me, by the way?
What's that?
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Okay,
Well,
now I can hear you.
Thank you so much for.
I know it's not so easy to follow Haneshama. Once Haneshama sang, really, we should have all gone home. But here we are. So, Mark, I'm handing over to you. Tell us a little bit about your experiences.
So I want to thank you for including me in this beautiful, beautiful morning and tribute and yortzeit to Reb Shlomo, who meant so much to all of us. I have to tell you that as a boy of 11 or 12 years old in Detroit, where I grew up, my mother took me to my first Shlomo Carlebach concert. I remember, and I was a young boy, and there I was sitting in the audience watching this amazing fellow with a beard and with his tzitzis out, singing all of these Hebrew songs. It was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. And that inspired me to take guitar lessons, and I always wanted to be able to sing Hebrew songs just like I saw this Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. And among the first Hebrew songs that I learned were really indeed his songs, Essa Einai and Lule Hamanti and things of that nature. So I never forget seeing my first Shlomo Carlebach concert and then many more, and having the opportunity to sing with him. And the one time that really stands out with me that I remember singing with him was when I was in Yerushalayim. And word came to me that he was not feeling well. He was ill. He was in his apartment on Lincoln Street, otherwise known as Abraham Lincoln. He had an apartment, and a bunch of us all went over to his apartment. There he was in bed, getting better, and I had the opportunity to sing to him. So I hope that was a little bit of a help to Refuah Shlema, to Reb Shlomo. But he means so much to us. We include all of his melodies and all the davenings we always do. And I want to sing one song today that has special, special meaning to me. It's called the Krakow Nigun, which is named for the city of Krakow. Krakow was the big Jewish city that was next to the concentration camp Auschwitz. And Shlomo had the opportunity to visit the concentration camps and then went to Krakow, and a place that has many shuls. And among the most famous of the shuls is the Ramoz shul, the Ramoz synagogue. And there he was in the shul, and he composed this nigun. And what's interesting about this nigun, and nigun means a melody, so it doesn't have words, it's more just a sing-along. It expresses both emotions. So he came from the concentration camps, and he said, I want to write a song that's in memory of the 6 million. I was just in the concentration camps. But then he said, you know what, I have to write this melody that also expresses hope. So this is the song that he wrote. It's called the Krakow Nigun. And what it does is it shows that despair can give way to joy, and that hurt can give way to healing. And that's what this song speaks about. We sing it many, many times. I sing it even in Kabbalat Shabbat to L'Chadodi. So it's called the Krakow Nigun. Those of you who know it, please sing along with me. Yanai, nanai, 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 nanai.
Mark, thank you so much. And we
Thank
can't wait
you.
to welcome you back into the shul building, which you can see here. We need to hear another Hallel from you.
We
Me and
can't
Chazan
wait.
need
We
a bit of a
can't wait.
rest.
Halavai.
We need a
Can't
bit of a
wait.
rest, me and Nati, and we need to hear you doing a Hallel.
We look forward to. I can't wait to be back. And thank you again. And Shlomo's neshama should have an aliyah, go higher and higher and higher. Thank you
Lord,
for
get me
including
high.
us. Kol hakavod. Keep
Thank
singing.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now it's time to hear a very special nigun. We heard neshama before, but now it's time for Haneshama, because we're going to hear one of the most iconic songs of Shlomo Carlebach. It's the title of his very first album, Haneshama Lach, and it came out in 1959. You know that Shlomo Carlebach studied in Lakewood Yeshiva. His Rebbe was Reb Aaron Kotler, and he was one of the great Talmudic Metzuyonim of his day. But he decided to devote his life to bringing in as many people as possible. He didn't want to be an elitist Jew who just preached and gave lectures to a few select people who understood the Talmud and who understood the Torah of Reb Aaron Kotler and the Brisker Rov. He wanted to be a rabbi for his generation. And as a result of that, in the late 1950s, he took up music, he learned to play guitar, and he began to sing for small audiences. And slowly but surely, he was composing nigunim, he was composing tunes. And during that period, he decided he was going to record an album. It was unheard of. Popular Jewish music was all chazanut. There was no such thing as music that was recorded that was just tunes or nigunim or songs that you sang in two-part melodies. It didn't really exist. Shlomo Carlebach invented the genre. All the Jewish music that we know today from chasnas, which is uncomplicated and easy to sing, has at its root Shlomo Carlebach. One of the first nigunim that he composed was Haneshama Lach, which is a beautiful nigun taken from words that we say in Selichot before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I'm now going to invite Chazan Nati. He's going to begin with a beautiful piece, an introduction of Haneshama Lach, and that's going to go into the melody. As he said before, one of the geniuses of Shlomo Carlebach was that he integrated nusach with melody, with nigunim. Nati, it's over to you.
Hi, everybody. The previous Mimkomcha, the arrangement was written by my friend, my teacher, my mentor, Raymond Goldstein. And this piece, Haneshama Lach, the introduction, the recitative before, was written by my dear friend, the conductor, the famous conductor, Dr. Mordechai Sobol, that passed away 2 years ago, and it will be for his Ilui Nishama.
Haneshama Haneshama Lach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach Haneshama Lach ve'aguf polach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach ve'aguf polach. Salam alaikum. Haneshama Lach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach. Chosa, chosa, alam alach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach. Chosa, chosa, alam alach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach. Chosa, chosa, alam alach. Haneshama Lach ve'aguf olach. Chosa, chosa, I want to thank to my wife, Karmit. She's playing the piano, playing beautifully the arrangement. Thank you so much, Karmit, for putting all the time and effort to play and to prepare us such a beautiful setup. I want now to invite my dear colleague, Chazan Marcus Feldman from Sinai Temple. We are almost 8 years knowing each other, collaborating on many projects. And it's a privilege and honor to ask you to participate and sing on this stage.
Thank you so much, Chazan Baram, and thank you so much, Rabbi Dunner. It's so true what you said, Rabbi Dunner, that oftentimes we don't know the origin of this modern shul music that we have. And the same is true at Sinai Temple. Over 20 years ago, we created Friday Night Live, where we invited a band to come in and join us for our Kabbalat Shabbat services. And we thought that was brand new, but it's true. All of this has roots in the music of Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. So we still, now on Friday Night Live, have the honor of singing one of Rabbi Carlebach's nigunim, the melody for Psalm 96, originally set to his text of Kiva Moed. And please sing along. Thank you for singing along. And I've got one more melody to share. It's actually a really wonderful story. One of the kind of silver linings of this whole pandemic has been a chance to broadcast our services all around the country. And for our Simchat Torah services, we got a video back of a very interesting congregant who was enjoying a song that we do. So I'm going to share that with you really quick. So yes, indeed, that was a really wonderful congregant who was joining us in the singing of David Melech. So now I would like all of us to join in the singing of David Melech.
Oy 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 hey la
Thank you so much, Marcus. Beautifully done. Thank you so much. Regards to your whole community. It's really a pleasure to have you on with us, and we look forward to many future occasions where we'll be able to have simcha in our shul and in your shul. It doesn't need to be on Zoom. Let's be together. Let's celebrate and sing together.
Amen.
Thank you. You know that we're trying to obscure it and we're trying to pretend that it's not there on a joyous occasion, but I think it's appropriate to mention it. We're going through a difficult time. Every one of us is going through a difficult time. And countries are going into lockdown, towns and cities suffering from people who are sick, communities are going through very, very difficult moments. And we should just recognize how important it is for us to connect to God and to pray, to recite psalms, to do what we need to do mitzvot, to ma'asim tovim. We spoke before about Avraham Avinu. We must be, at this time, the descendants of Avraham Avinu. And at the same time, we must lift our eyes up onto the mountains and say, where will our help come from? Our help is going to come from Hashem. Because at the moment, no one else can offer us any answers. So I want to sing with you a song that Shlomo Carlebach released in 1960. How many years ago is that? It's 60 years ago. You good at math, Carly? It's 60 years ago. And the song is as relevant now as it was when the first moment it came out. So sing with me. It's time to sing. Close your eyes. Oh yeah. So Einai. I can hear you singing, but it's not loud enough. Oh yes, oh Einai, Eleanim, Me'ayin, Me'ayin, Yabo Ezri. Essa Einai Elehari, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri, Ezri Me'im Hashem, Ose Shamayim time to invite Ailey. What do you think?
I think it's a great thing, great opportunity for us
We definitely
to
should
sing
have
with
Ailey.
Ailey. We always love Ailey. We like to sing with them.
We love singing with Ailey.
So it's about time for Ailey.
Absolutely. Ailey Atavoideko. So we're going to sing a bit of a medley with Ailey. Does everyone know Ailey? Ailey's waving. Ailey's our son, and he loves singing, and he's part of the choir here in Beverly Hills Synagogue. And we miss the choir, we miss the singing, and all of us would love to sing more, but now we have an opportunity to sing a bit. And I want you to sing with Ailey, because Ailey doesn't like it to sing on his own. He wants people to sing with him, okay? So we're going to sing a quick medley, just 3 songs of Shlomo Carlebach, and I want you to sing with us. With me, everyone. Some with me quietly. Return again. Return again. Return to the land of your soul. One more time. Return again. Return again. Return to the land of your soul. Thank you, Aileen.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Glad I can
I
help.
hope you're all applauding.
So, Rabbi,
Yeah.
how did you meet Shlomo Carlebach?
I met Shlomo Carlebach. It's a crazy story. I was in gated yeshiva, and I decided I want to call Shlomo Carlebach. And I called a cousin of his who I knew in London. He gave me a phone number. And I called that phone number, and that person told me, oh, he's not here right now. He's in Los Angeles. He gave me a phone number of a hotel where he was staying. And I called up the hotel. And I got through to the room, and he picked up. Crazy, right? I mean, within 5 minutes of me wanting to call him, I got him on the phone. And Shlomo Carlebach said to me, what's your name? I said, my name is Rabbi Dunner. I'm calling you from gated yeshiva. He said, this is mamish, the holiest moment of my life. Now, since then, I've discovered that he said that to most other people as well. But at the time, as a 17-year-old yeshiva bocher in Gateshead, I was moved beyond words. And so began a relationship for the last few years of Shlomo Carlebach's life, where we sang together on stage. I sang with him. He sang. I was just a side singer. And he stayed in my house, in my parents' house. He came to our wedding, and we did so many things together. Unfortunately, after a Shabbos, which he spent with me actually, Parshas Lech Lecha, 26 years ago, he went back to America. He was going to spend it turned out to be the last few days of his life, but he was going to spend a Shabbos with his children. He flew from LaGuardia Airport, but the plane never left the ground. He died as the plane was taxiing to the runway, and they took him off the plane. They brought him back. There was a Levaya in New York, a Levaya in Yerushalayim, which I attended. I'd seen him only a few days before. He was just 69 years old. But the profound impact that he had on my life and on the life of so many others is immeasurable, absolutely immeasurable. And I know that many of the things that I do today and my attitude towards so many things in Jewish life and in life in general are things that I learnt from him, just being in his proximity in those formative years as a teenager in my early 20s. He changed my life profoundly and forever, and hopefully through his influence I have managed to change other people's lives, and that's been a great pleasure and a great privilege. So we're going to close today. We're going to sing some very, very important songs about the Jewish nation and about Yerushalayim. The Jewish nation is the heart of who we are, and Yerushalayim is the heart of the Jewish nation. So we're going to begin with Am Yisrael Chai or Davinu Chai, and then we're going to sing Yerushalayim, and we're going to end with Hatikva.
Before we sing in Yerushalayim, you know that
Yes.
my connection to Reb Shlomo Carlebach
Yes.
was through his minyan. He had a minyan in the
In
Kotel.
Yerushalayim, of course. In Yerushalayim.
In
You
Yerush-
lived
in the
the old
Kotel.
city.
In the Kotel.
That's right.
So
Nati, you should know, was brought up in the old city of Jerusalem. His years as a child was spent as a child of the old city.
So in my teenager years, I went to daven every Friday night in the minyan of Shlomo Carlebach, on the right side, next to the Mechitza,
I know
as you
exactly
know.
where it is.
And I used to go there every week, and one of the members of the minyan was Chaim David Sarasik,
Yes.
a famous Carlebach singer that we all of us know.
Yes.
And he heard me and he said, Nati, you have to sing. So here I am.
Here you are, all those years later, together with me. We both walked along the same path and we finally met together. I need everyone to sing with me wherever you are. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael Chai.
Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai.
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Israel Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Birushalayim, 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 Birushalayim. Bahu העובדים בארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים. ובאו העובדים מארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים. והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, והשתחוו להשם בהר הקודש. בירושלים, 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 Jerusalem Shabbat, בירושלים I call Lord בלב הפנימה, נפש יהודי הומיה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צור
עוד לא עבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this special commemorative event. Please stay in touch and we'll have many more. Shalom.